Barside Spurs podcast. I'm here today joined by Andy Creed. How are we doing, Andy?
Yeah, I'm all right, Steve. I think I've recovered from Monday. And it was Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Monday, mate.
Yeah. That all kind of became a bit blurry at the end, but we got there.
Yes. Yeah, wasn't it bad? I listened back to it today. Actually, it was a bit giggly at the end. I think.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Yeah, from you.
Yeah, it covered a fair amount of theology as well. Well, Jamie did.
Yes, he did. Yeah, who knew? I mean, I didn't really know what. You know, he has many
Bible reader.
Many. So So I mean, yeah, we're also joined by Jamie. How are you doing, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, looking forward to another pod. It's been a while since I've seen you Monday, and let's hope this one descends into as much chaos as Monday's one did. But you're obviously there to rein us all in if we step out of line, aren't you?
Yeah. That's what I'm here for. I'm
the ringmaster.
The ringmaster, the doom master. Strictly on an hour's budget tonight, so we need to make sure we stick to the time limits. All right.
Exactly.
You might hear a few bangs and stuff from my end. I've got a neighbour that seems to think that he needs to do a lot of work in his garden. I'm hoping the fact that it's dark outside now will have stopped.
Yeah, it is dark. Yeah, so
who knows? If you hear noise in the background, it hasn't stopped him, and he's still going for it. So anyway, never mind. Shit happens. You know, I'm sure Andy, with his expertise, will be able to edit it all out. You know.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Top stuff. So we're here today, obviously, to do our second review of All or Nothing series, and we'll be looking at episodes 4 to 6. So, I mean, the first one, the fourth one, is called Season's Greetings, and I think there's only one place to start, really. So, your top 3 chocolate bars.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have to agree, Bounty is not in the top 3 for me. It
certainly not.
No, it'd have to be. I think I'd go Marathon, then Topic, and
hold
then
on.
Decker.
Hold on. There is no such thing as Marathon, is there? Is there not Marathon doesn't exist anymore.
Andy's just got a load of old Marathon
I've got a job
lot from the 1980s.
Yeah, I have. I've got a job lot. Yeah, but I call them Marathons.
They must be rock solid by now, I tell you.
Yeah, they've got an acquired taste.
Yeah, I don't want to acquire that taste, to be honest.
No, you don't. No, or anything else that comes with it. No,
not at all. Jamie, what would be your top 3?
I don't actually eat a lot of chocolate, to be honest with you, but
nothing. Not even to wash down the beer.
No, the chocolate ruins the taste of the beer, doesn't it? But if I was to give you my top 3, and I would say as well that chocolate bars have got incredibly small over the years. So
you don't eat chocolate though, so how would you know?
Well, I go into shops and stuff and I have a little mooch around.
Well, they do the king size ones, don't they? And the double size ones. And...
Yeah, but the king size ones are not actually king size, are they? As Jamie says, they're probably like
the original
size and a half. Yeah, they're kind of size and a half. So they've made the actual regular size smaller, and then the king size is really only about a size and a half, to be honest. So.
But they charge you double.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
But if I was to give you my 3, I'd probably say Twix has got to be in there. A Whisper.
Say it again.
Whispers and Twix. Yeah, good shouts there, Jamie. Yeah.
Maybe a Kit Kat as well. It's fairly sweet.
Nah, it's not even a biscuit, is it?
Yeah. No, I
chocolate bar. It's not a biscuit. It's nothing. A Twix, I would say, is probably a cake. I'd say it's a cake.
Well, that's me.
What sort of cakes do you eat? I mean, like, that's
well,
not a cake.
Long brown, biscuity ones. Yeah.
Evidently. Yeah.
Come on then, Steve. What would you go for?
I refuse to give you my choices now. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
if we're
taking the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, I mean, if we're defining Twixes as cakes, I don't think there's a conversation to be had. To be honest,
no, that's true.
Let's not get onto Jaffa cakes. Is it a cake or is it a biscuit?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe I'm getting confused with Jaffa cakes. Yeah,
there we go.
Good point.
There we go.
But it's interesting you should bring that up, though, Steve, because when Daly was talking about these chocolate bars, was this in any way linked to the 20% off that we now get with Cadbury as well?
It might be. It might have been. It might have been.
It's a subtle link, isn't it?
Yeah. Subliminal messages.
Yeah, it might, because they did mention that as they did mention that earlier today as one of the tweets, didn't they? About your top 3 chocolate bars or whatever. So
have we got email?
Is that going to be? Are they going to sponsor us? Are they going to be is that a link to what's going to happen in the future? That suddenly we're going to be the Cadbury Stadium or something like that, maybe.
Well, maybe, but we've got 20% off if we want to go there.
Imagine the jokes if it was the Cadbury Stadium that we melt whenever things get a bit hot and things like that. You'd never hit the end of it.
Yeah, that's gonna work, isn't it? God. Terrible.
I don't think Levy's going to worry about that. To be honest, I think he just thinks about the money.
Exactly.
Like, well, is there a lot of money involved? Yes. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's do it. So anyway, so let's move on then. So, what were your key takeaways from for that 4th episode?
Yeah. So the 4th episode, of course, it starts with the Christmas party, and it's all a bit festive, all a bit, I don't know,
as you'd expect at Christmas.
Bit corporate, yeah. But it was it's just probably lots of people not wanting to be there because it's a corporate do, and probably wanting to go down the pub and have a few beers, I would have thought.
They probably had to pay for their own drinks as well.
Possibly. On the on Levy's speech, like he talks about being on. I can't remember what exactly it was, but he kind of talks about being on target for the top 4, like wanting to, being on target for top 4, and also for winning a trophy. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because I was listening out for it, or I feel that I was listening out for it, but I felt that the cheer around top 4 was a lot louder than the cheer around winning a trophy, which tells me that top 4 is still more important to the club than actual trophy. That's the aim. That's the target. Because it seemed to be much more raucous when we're on target for top 4. Hey, we're on target for a trophy. Hey.
I think in modern day football it is, though, isn't it? Because
is that not just a sad indictment of where football is at the moment?
Yeah, well, I think. Yeah, of course. I mean, the FA Cup is nothing like it used to be. The FA Cup final day used to be a day when you got up, watched TV, watched the FA Cup stuff all through the day. Now it's just an event at 5 o'clock in the evening, isn't it? Whereas top 4 is everything. Yeah, exactly. And top 4 is now to go and play with the elite teams in Europe. So it's just totally.
Yeah, but what's the point? What's the point of saying that okay, I played against some excellent players. That's it. That's the sum total of my career. I played against Messi. That's the sum total of my. I don't win for
some ways to some players that probably Messi. Is. Yeah, I think that probably is to some players. Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I think the FA Cup has become devalued to a certain extent. It doesn't excite me as much as it used to.
No.
So that means you bought into the corporate type of branding of qualifying for the Champions League and all that bollocks. Then because the FA Cup, as Spurs fans or as fans of a team that is traditionally a cup side. The FA Cup was one of our, our only, not only, but one of our best routes to achieving something.
Yeah.
And so the prospect should still excite us, really, as Spurs fans. That should excite us because, that is something that, if we're not realistically, when are we going to win the Premier League, or when are we going to realistically win the Champions League? Even though we got there and it felt like an anomaly getting to the Champions League final. when are we going to really win that? If you look at the mentality, listen to Mora, when in one of these episodes, he talks about the Champions League semi-final and what it meant to him and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did actually qualify that and say that, he had hoped to get back this year, like as in this season just gone, get back there, but this time go one step further and win it. But it just feels that adulation around like the semi-final game and the experience that was the semi-final game is more important than actually winning something.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's partly because Spurs haven't won the FA Cup for so long that night was the biggest thing for most people. I can remember us winning the FA Cup 3 times. So that's what we did in Ajax that night was amazing, but it's not the same as winning a cup. It just isn't.
You remember winning the cup in 1921, Andy?
I do, yeah.
Cheap shot.
So I mean that was the first thing from the Christmas party. And I mean obviously we kind of started to see Tanganga, I think, come through in this this episode. And there was a lot of focus on him, and you listen to him talk, and you listen about his home life and just what it means to him to get that opportunity. But he came across to me as a humble, well-grounded,
smashing,
well brought up lad who, and you just kind of you really want him to succeed, but also to stay humble, really, and just to to continue to work hard and and make the most of the opportunities that he's got.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he lives near the stadium still with his mum and dad, and of course, when he was told he was going to play against Liverpool, he cried, which was really lovely, because that's obviously him knowing that he's got to where he wanted to be after all these years. And it's sad we haven't seen more of him lately, but that's probably because of small little niggly injuries and what have
injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think we'll see a lot more of him this year. I think Jose really likes him.
Yeah, and did you go on, Jay?
He seems like he's got his head screwed on, and he's obviously a local lad, Spurs supporter at heart. And obviously, when he said he was scouted by Chelsea, he gave a little smirk, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And I mean, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that he had the opportunity, although scouted by Chelsea, had the opportunity to play for Spurs, because it seems that a lot of players that through supporting a club through childhood or whatever, if they end up playing for a different club, then although they may still support the club that they supported, that allegiance kind of sort of fades away a bit, certainly during their playing career. So if he ends up spending a significant amount of time at Chelsea, then he might have become
one of them.
Chelsea, and then and then it becomes a different conversation. But did you pick up on the conversation that he had with the conversation that it was? I can't remember who was around the table. There was Sonny, him, and someone else around the table, and they were talking to him and asking him about when he was going to sign a new contract. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that was really funny, because Sonny was just so blatant, wasn't he? He was like, "When are you going to sign a new contract?" On the next table is Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
He said, "We'll just go and have a chat with him about it."
Just go and ask him. Just it was great. These conversations, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this stuff is kind of like done deliberately within earshot of people. You know what I mean?
It did seem a bit staged, didn't you think? Why would Daniel Levy be eating his cornflakes next to?
No, he's in there, but he's always in he's in there, and it just seems like he's always in there. Yeah, he was in. I mean, he's been in there for all the other episodes, so it's not.
I thought he'd be up in his office stroking his white cat,
or cooking your fish and chips, Andy.
Well, good point, mate. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it was breakfast. Don't forget.
And if it's not a match day, he should be practicing, shouldn't he? Let's face it.
Yeah, he should be.
Getting it
spot
on.
fish and chips.
I was thinking about that scenario earlier, and there must have been a certain amount of fixed CCTV cameras